Hey, everybody. Today is Thursday, January the 11th, and you're watching FCN Prime News here on the Fifth Column Network. I'm Trezene, editor of FCN1, which is home of news, politics, and business, and your news anchor for this evening. For those who may be joining us for the very first time, hello and welcome. Here at FCN Prime News, we aim to bring you your news from a perspective that matters most to you. And tonight will be no different, as I'll definitely be sharing the crime and justice news, as well as current events, international news, and some business news, which tonight will include Walmart's recent move to boost its minimum wage for its workers. I know, huge, right? But first, just a reminder that the Fifth Column Network continues to make a name for itself by continuously bringing you live programming each and every week. And we look forward to being live because it gives you guys an opportunity to comment in real time with us. So please like, share, and comment. We always look forward to hearing from y'all because your comments can totally change the direction of a conversation or an argument, and we love that. We want you all to be a part of producing the very content that you are watching. Today, I will be sure to read comments at the end of this broadcast, so please leave your comments. Of course, always subscribe to our YouTube page. You can find us at the Fifth Column Network there and hit that button, subscribe. With that said as well, everybody hit that little share button on this broadcast to invite your friends, your family, your followers, your haters, everybody to get in on the conversation as well, because the more, the merrier. All right, with that, let's go into our crime and justice news. In New Jersey, a prominent doctor murders his wife in cold blood to prevent her from spilling all the tea about his illegal opioid practice. Prosecutors who investigated the case along with the FBI and other agencies said this guy, Dr. James Kaufman, he is age 68 and a principal leader in an illegal opioid network that was run out of his medical office through an alliance he had with a local motorcycle club called the Pagan Outlaws. Yes, that is their real name, the Pagan Outlaws Motorcycle Gang. It appears that Kaufman made the decision to kill his wife when she threatened to take certain steps to obtain a divorce, specifically spending as much money as she could before the divorce was final and threatening to expose his illegal oxy distribution network. Prosecutors say that Kaufman was like, and I paraphrase, "You gonna learn today." And so he leveraged his relationship with Pagan Outlaws to hire a hitman. And on the morning of May 10th, 2012, Kaufman made the 911 call that he returned home to find his 47-year-old wife dead in the master bedroom, lying face down on the floor with 2 gunshots to the head. It's been nearly 6 years since that day, and now Kaufman is finally being arrested and charged with first-degree murder, first-degree racketeering, and alleged co-conspirator as well, who's age 61, named Ferdinand Augello. He faces first-degree murder charges and racketeering charges, including conspiring to kill the doctor at a later date. The actual hitman who told police investigators that he was paid $20,000 for carrying out the hit, he died in 2013 from a drug overdose. Prosecutors haven't issued a statement on why it took so long to charge Kaufman. Even still, Kaufman continues to deny any involvement whatsoever in the homicide of his wife. Speaking of lying, a college student is going to trial for lying about being raped at a party. Whoa. Yeah, I know. 19-year-old Nikki Jovino accused 2 football players at her college of sexually assaulting her during an October 2016 party. The players objected, saying the sex was totally consensual. Police say Jovino later admitted to making up the rape allegations because she worried another student would lose romantic interest in her when he found out about the sexual encounter. Prosecutors have since offered her a 2-year prison sentence deal, and a judge offered her a 1-year prison sentence deal. She apparently thought that those offers were ridiculously unreasonable, so she rejected both plea deals. Her trial is now set for February the 21st of this year. Her attorneys, however, say that they're very eager to present the whole story to a jury. I'm sorry. What? The whole story? I think we already got the story. She wanted to be sexually free in them sheets, yet not look like a whore in the streets. Still, never a reason to accuse somebody of raping you when you know that that's not the case. Never, not ever. There are better, legal, less reputation-damning solutions to dealing with the patriarchal rigidity that governs sexual behavior. My advice to prosecutors, Y'all better work real hard to get a jury with plenty of men on it so that you can win your case. While we're on the topic of white patriarchy, a Louisiana teacher has felt the full brunt of that when she was forcefully handcuffed and removed from a school board meeting. For what? Challenging the male superintendent's want for a pay raise. Video posted on social media showed Dayshiahargrove expressing dissent with the board's decision to approve a $38,000 pay raise for the school superintendent, even though teachers hadn't received a raise in several years. The board president, Anthony Fontana, ruled Hargrave out of order, and a city marshal official asked her to leave the meeting. Hargrave, who recently won Teacher of the Year at her school, balked, but then decided to walk out. Video shot second later from the hallway showed the marshal officer handcuffing her, forcing her to the ground to handcuff her and remove her from the building. A female board member said that night, "What happened here tonight, the way that women are treated in our school district, I have never seen a man removed from this room. I have never." Adding insult to injury, though, board president Anthony Fontana told the media that if a teacher has the authority to send a student who is acting up in the classroom that she can't control out of the classroom to the principal's office, then under our policy, we have the same rules. Whoa! What in the name of white patriarchal mansplaining does that even mean? Like, is it that women are to be seen and not heard? That women need to know their place? Anybody got any ideas on that? Any mansplaining translators out there who can deconstruct that statement, please? If you have that great skill and expertise, leave the explanation in the comments. The school board has gotten death threats, actually, from around the world as this story has gone viral, and the American Civil Liberties Union has called her arrest especially troubling and said it would investigate the incident. Hargrave was booked on charges of remaining after being forbidden and resisting police, but authorities say she will not be prosecuted. She is currently demanding an apology. In our current events, business, and politics news, since we're talking about apologies, you won't hear anybody on Capitol Hill apologizing for the new tax law because, at least for now, companies are putting it to good use. Walmart, king of low prices, long lines, and de minimis customer service, are boosting its minimum hourly wage for its U.S. employees to $11 and dishing out bonuses of up to $1,000 for its workers. The big box store chain, which has more than 1 million U.S. hourly employees, credits Trump's tax cut for enabling the move, as its corporate tax rate has been cut from 35% to the 21%. Walmart, though, isn't the only business to do so. AT&T, Comcast, Wells Fargo, and Fifth Third Bank have announced bonuses to its employees as well, or boosted their hourly pay to $15. While supporters of this tax reform say this demonstrates the effectiveness of the trickle-down economics policy, actual economists argue that one-time bonuses are not as meaningful as permanent wage increases. And of course, critics of tax reform say that regardless, all of this is for the sake of good publicity and to curry favor with the White House. I agree. Walmart's wage increase will take effect in February of this year. The company said that the one-time bonuses would cost the company about $400 million and will be based on the length of service. Employees who have worked for at least 20 years will get the full $1,000 bonus, but most will get up to a few $100s. That I know, right? Like, what kind of a bonus is that? If I don't work at a Walmart for 20 years, listen, you pay me. The company is also boosting its paid maternity leave policy for full-time hourly workers to 10 weeks at full pay. Previously, they got 6 to 8 weeks at half pay. Walmart is also increasing its paid leave policy for new fathers and non-birthing mothers to 6 weeks at full pay for full-time hourly workers. Previously, the company didn't offer any paid leave for them at all. The effect of another Trump policy is being felt as freedom and resistance protests are happening in response to immigrants being threatened with deportation. DREAM Act allies gathered outside the Javits Federal Building in New York today, where immigrants threatened with deportation were required to check in with the ICE. The protests grew violent today when ICE, the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement Agency, arrested this man, a prominent immigration rights activist named Ragbir his name disappeared. He's the executive director of the new Sanctuary Coalition of New York. Rockbeard was taken into custody when he actually had to go in for his routine check-in meeting with ICE. Advocates say he has led a long local fight against immigration detention and deportation, and that he previously spent 22 months in immigration detention. Rockbeard is a Brooklyn resident, but he came to the U.S. from Trinidad in 1991. According to an online bio, he got legal permanent status in 1994, but an immigration judge ordered him deported in 2006 because of a wire fraud conviction, which he is still currently fighting. ICE previously put his deportation on hold under a stay that was supposed to be in effect until next week, advocates say. In dramatic footage shared on social media, police arrested other protesters and demonstrators as well, including New York City Council member Jumaane Williams, who called on people to continue to resist even as he was handcuffed and his entire body and face was thrown against the hood of a car by an NYPD officer. You can keep up with this story by checking out the hashtag #IStandWithRavi. While we're on the topic of citizenship, there is a growing anger with the U.S.'s unfair application of who gets to visit America to have their babies on American soil. A growing number of Russians are coming to the United States to give birth so that their babies can be American citizens. These kids will have the right to live and work here, receiving social services when they turn 21, they can actually have the right to sponsor their parents for an American green card. This practice is called birthing tourism. It has brought a birthing boom to Miami, Florida, where birthing tourism agencies have lavish travel packages for pregnant moms to come, stay, give birth, and get all the baby's American citizenship paperwork, including their passport. It's controversial, but yet legal, as the 14th Amendment of our Constitution totally says that if you're born on American soil, you are an American citizen. But here's the thing, it's not just Russians. Chinese women have been doing this for years. One birthing tourism agency called Miami Mommy is being investigated by the FBI after an employee was convicted of making false statements on a passport application. The FBI has declined to comment further because this is an active case, but they do mention that federal agents raided California maternity hotels that were catering to Chinese clients in 2015. For those who remember, Trump made this an issue during the elections, calling for an end to birthright citizenship, calling it the biggest magnet for illegal immigration. Yet, the only people being publicly and violently attacked for immigration are black and brown people.
Especially brown.
Especially the brown. While we're on the topic of citizenship, Ecuador has announced earlier this afternoon that it has granted citizenship to WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Did I pronounce that right, y'all? Yeah. Assange has been sheltering in Ecuador's London embassy for 5 years to avoid arrest. Assange, a 46-year-old Australian, became an Ecuadorian citizen last year on December the 12th. As a result, Ecuador has asked London to recognize Assange as a diplomat, which would give him safe passage out of the embassy without fear of arrest. But Britain has basically said, nah, fam, we not. The request to Britain to accept diplomatic status for Assange was made on December the 20th, and Britain basically denied it not even 24 hours later. Britain is not in talks with Ecuador on the matter at all. Ecuador's attempt to obtain diplomatic status for Assange comes as part of the country's broader efforts to resolve the case against him. He moved into the embassy in 2012 to avoid arrest over a Swedish probe into rape allegations. Sweden dropped the investigation, but the British authorities still seek to arrest him for failing to surrender to court after a violation of bail. Assange has refused to step outside this embassy for the last 5 years and claims that he fears being extradited to the U.S. As a result of the publication of secret U.S. documents that he did with WikiLeaks in 2010. That's crazy. They're still trying to get him out of there, but he is still stuck inside of the embassy. For those who are also trying to avoid persecution, in India, an Indian prince has decided to open the doors of his palace for persecuted members of India's LGBT community. In Mumbai, India, Prince Gohil, the only openly gay prince in India where same-sex relations are still illegal, is throwing open his palace doors to lesbians, gays, transgender, and other Indians shunned for their sexuality. Gohil said it was particularly hard to come out in his small town of India, where traditional values hold sway and heterosexual relations are the norm. He says people still face a lot of pressure from their families when they come out, being forced to marry or being thrown out of their homes. They often do not have somewhere to go and no means to support themselves. So the prince, who is age 52, is building a center for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered people on the grounds of his ancestral palace. He says, I am not going to have any children, so I thought, why not use this space for a good purpose? He said that he will offer rooms, a medical facility, and training in English and vocational skills to help people find jobs. I wish you guys could see the faces of the people in this room as I'm reading this to you guys. Gohil came out to his family more than a decade ago, prompting his mother to take out a newspaper advertisement disowning him. Erstwhile royalty in India are still in the spotlight, many do hold positions in government. After coming out, Gohil set up a trust, a charity for LGBT people in his conservative home state, and became a champion for gay rights. He has made numerous international appearances, including on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He is a vocal critic of India's colonial era law that criminalizes consensual sexual relations between same-sex adults. Earlier this week, the country's top court said that it would reconsider its 2013 decision to uphold the law criminalizing same-sex relationships. Gohil said that he is renovating and extending his palace, built in 1927, on the 15-acre site, installing solar panels for power and reserving some land for organic farming. He's going all out. He also has an online crowdfunding campaign and donations that could help finance the center, and it will be managed by his charity. So if you want to look up this prince and donate to his crowdfunding campaign, you can. He's a prince. He got all the money. Well, that's all the news we got tonight, folks. Any comments that were on social media? Any comments made? Yes, no, maybe
yeah,
so.
You got a bunch.
What we got?
You got a bunch of comments. You don't have your phone?
No, my phone has been confiscated. Don't have my phone.
Miss Leah Beatty, they will make that back. It's not a big deal. I believe she's speaking in regards to Walmart.
Yeah.
Glad making changes to benefit workers, but I agree it's just for publicity. Still talking about Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being brave, Prince. You are doing the right thing. No, spending all that cash, your cash, is the right thing. And Tanisha Pruitt on Facebook says she needs to demand more than that. Who was she talking about?
Yeah, who's she talking about?
She was talking about the teacher who was only demanding.
Oh, demanding only apology. Yeah,
Yeah.
she need to be demanding some financial damages. She needs to be demanding quite a bit.
Did you see the whole video where another one was like, I've never seen a man remove.
Yeah, yes, I saw that.
Like,
Yeah,
it was like
it was awful.
It was awful.
And they had a black man do it. The marshal was a black. That's what they do.
Though.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That Sunday.
Yeah, we sure will. There's quite a few of these topics we'll be talking about on the Sunday edition at 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday here at the Fifth Column Network. But I'm going to wrap up the news because for those who don't know, we have a new program on Thursdays that started at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, hosted by J-Co. And today he'll be joined by the Reggie Mathis. It's True Baller Thursdays. They'll be talking about everything NBA on TNT, and that'll be coming up right in about 10 minutes. So with that, I'm Trezene. Thank you guys for watching FCN Prime News on the Fifth Column Network. I will see you guys all next Monday at 7 p.m.